Hello, welcome to my mod spotlight for the LD Circuit mod. One of the things that this mod provides is a toggle button so that you can turn it on or off, because its main goal is to enable the stringing of circuit wires, and sometimes you don't really want your things to be connected by circuit wires, even though this mod has some features that should set it up so that you don't have to toggle it very often. So here's a demonstration. Notice it's not on. And I put these up and no circuit wires are strung. I turned it on and still no circuit wires are strung. So what needs to happen in order for this to string some circuit wires? And I'll show you. So we'll string a green one here and a red one here, and then poof. See how it strung both of them? Basically, if a tower is attached to circuit wires already and then you place a new tower, it will string circuit wires to it too. And this does not work for anything that isn't a long distance tower. So let us notice how it only strung red, because red was the only thing that was going to the tower it was attached to. Again, it only strung green because green was the only thing going to the tower it was attached to. And if it attaches to both towers, it strings green to the one that had green and red to the one that had red. So that is basically how this mod works. Now, why would you want to actually, what use case is there for this? Why would you even want to use this mod? So, a lot of people build train tracks. You know, they have their, they build their track section. One, two, and then blink. Oh, I need more tracks. And then they'll put, put towers on it. String some wire. And then, make a copy of it or a blueprint, and then just, stomp across the landscape. And of course, doing it over water didn't work. And then they have specialized blueprints that get used for turns and for all the other different kinds of train track things that you do. And it's kind of a pain. I mean, it's a way of doing train tracks. It's a way that I don't like doing train tracks myself. I like using the rail planner. So if you do this, say we're going to string rail all the way over here, for example, and won't avoid the tree, even though I would like it to avoid the tree. So I'm going to end up doing that and that. We'll just string some train track along. Then, want to string another track, and of course, going to have to do this. It's got to be 3 over to put the power poles in. This is a slightly tedious and annoying way of stringing train tracks, I suppose. But it's the way I prefer to doing it because I like having twisty train tracks that loop around obstacles. It seems a lot more natural and interesting to me than the way train tracks look when you don't do this. This is my and so for aesthetic reasons, this is what I prefer. I do not like bases that look like they were decanted. So anyway, the rail planner is not always the easiest tool to use. And there's no way for me to make this turn without... that's very interesting. So here's what we're going to do. There. And actually what we're going to do is make that as short as possible. There. Then clear out bits that we don't want. There. Back in that bit. Okay, so now we have our train tracks. Now, with this mod turned off, of course, you want to string power poles along it. You do this, and it's kind of annoying. Well, yes, and that process will always be annoying. But once you've done that, like then if you want a long-distance circuit network for your trains, it becomes kind of annoying because you then have to go back and string all the wire along it too. But if you create blueprints for just your power poles, you know, they aren't going to handle the curves correctly. And you're going to end up having, you know, you might be able to get long sections where it's straight still, but wherever it turns, you're going to end up having to manually go string the wire again. So this mod, that's the exact case that this mod is designed for. So you do this. Oh yes. And no, it automatically strings up the wires for you. And so you don't have to go back and do it later. So you can make much more organic looking train networks. You don't have to use blueprints to create cookie cutter sections all over the place. But you can still relatively easily get your circuit wires strung up along your train tracks so that you can communicate information between stations about what station might need something or something like that if you want to do something fairly sophisticated with train routing. So that's the reason why you might want to use this mod. Anyway, so this is the LD Circuit mod. I'll put a link to it. LD AutoCircuit mod. Put a link to it in the description. Have a good day.